Come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. Lundy, how are you today, my friend? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's just chilly. I tell you, Lee, I don't understand this. I wanted to go out yesterday and buy some hanging plants, but something said wait, and here it is, 46 degrees again. I can't wait for summer. All right, folks, good morning, good morning. It is Fantastic Friday, and it is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. And what we're going to look at today is hey, Quentin, how are you today? All things great. Thanks for joining us today. We're closing out the month. Can you believe it? It's the last day of the first quarter. And we're at a point now where I think we need to look at our performance to date. You know, the funny thing about life is that it just keeps coming at you. And if you don't set your goals up, if you don't, have a game plan, then you go the way that the river of time takes you. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining us. Bless, Quentin, absolutely. And so as you move through life, you have to have these, let's call them checkups. You have to stop for a moment and see how you're doing. Look at what you're accomplishing and then consider what you set out to accomplish. Many times we'll look at our results and we'll then adjust our goals to fit our results. Okay? Now that's kind of crazy, but we do it, and I guess it's called acceptance. You set out to save $1,000 and you save 100 and you and then you say, well, you know what? That's all I really needed. That goal I had was just too tough. But I did do this, and so I'm gonna be happy with what I've done. If you do that, you will stay stuck, getting the same results you've gotten all along. Winston Churchill said, if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, that is insanity. And so I say, if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, that is insanity. How do you know where you're at, though? How do you know your performance to date? And that's why it's important, especially at this point today, to look at the things you set out to do this first quarter. Look at the things your goals you set for this year, but pay particular attention to your performance to date. Look at January, February, March. Did you accomplish your goals in January? Did you accomplish your goals in February? Did you accomplish your goals in March? If you did not accomplish any of those goals, then it's a problem. Hey, Herman, thanks for joining us today. So the thought is, how do I do a checkup right now? How do I look at my performance to date? And then what do I do? So number one, pull out your goals. Now, if you didn't have written goals for this year, if you didn't have written goals for this month, that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? In other words, when very often people say, well, I don't write down my goals. I just go for it. Yeah, well, that may sound like a good thing, but at the end of the month, at the end of the period, you don't have anything to judge yourself by. And so when you look at the end of the cycle, if you didn't have written goals, then right now your number one commitment should be, from this point forward, I will always write my goals. I'll write them in great detail. Not only will I write them, I will read them over at least 3 times a day. And at this point, I recommend that you set scheduled times to read your goals over. Like my times are 7, 12, 9. Okay? And so if you don't set a time to read your goals over, I guarantee that at the end of the day, you will not have done it. So when we look at this idea of assessing where we are right now, if you had no written goals, you see the problem. And so don't let this happen again. Because if you don't make a commitment today to say, okay, I got it now. This first quarter, I thought I was doing great, but I didn't have my written goals. Or if I wrote them, I haven't been reading them over. You know, many times people write the goals and then you can't find them. You put them away somewhere and you can't find them. And so whatever it is, your commitment going forward should be to write my goals for the rest of this year. And then to write my goals for each month of this year. And then to write my goals for next month. So right now we're ending the first quarter. So today you should close out this month and set up for next month. You know, I'm a network marketer. Over the years, I've been involved with, you know, pills and potions and everything. I love network marketing because I love to create residual income. And it's really worked for me. But one of the things we often find is at the end of the month, the last day, you had set some goals for yourself. And that last day of the last month, of the particular month, the last day you look at your goals. For example, you say, well, man, my goal was to sponsor 3 people so I could get this kind of bonus for sponsoring 3 people every month. And lo and behold, you only sponsored 1. Now, there's a tendency to throw in the towel and say, you know what? Okay, I didn't do it. Okay, I got off track, but I'm going to get on track next month. And then I'll sponsor 3 people. Sanctuary, thanks for joining us. We see it all the time in network marketing. My good friend Dave Smile, he's like a master. And he tells you, at the last day of the month, that's when you bear down. You should have been bearing down all along, but never throw in the towel until the game is over. And one of the things I've seen in network marketing is the power of a made-up mind. Then you say, today, I'm going to sponsor 2 people. I'm going down my list. I'm calling everybody I need to call. I'm sending my stuff out. I'm doing what I need to do to accomplish my goal. And I have seen it time and time again. Things that people thought were impossible happens. I had one of my associates. He set a goal for himself. And he had a question. He started in a new business. He said, what do I have to do to make $8,000 this month? I'm like, wow. At that point, I hadn't made $8,000, so I don't know if I was really qualified. Okay. But I told him, I said, if you sponsor 20 people who come into the program at $1,000 each, you make a 40% commission, so you'll make $8,000. He said, great. He got going. Shah, the real estate shark, meditation is the key. I would get back to that, Shah. Thank you so much. Hey, Tiffany. And so this guy set out to do it. And I mean, he was like a tiger. He was doing and he worked me to death. He was like, Doc, I got you on the phone. I got 3 people. Can you fly down? I got a group coming down. And, you know, he got me caught up in his rhythm. The last 3 days of the month, he was sick. He had a temperature. He had every excuse to quit. At that point, I think he'd gotten 15 of the necessary 20. But that guy kept going. He went back to people he talked to before. You know, the one thing, he kept a record. So he knew who to go back to. And he went back to him, and his enthusiasm, they said, hey, man, if you're that excited about it, I don't understand it, but I'll go with you. You know, man, you're like, wow, man, you're like a tiger. You refuse to lose. I'm going with you because if you refuse to lose, you might be a winner. And guess what? He got his 20. He made his $8,000. He took himself to the hospital. So what I'm saying is this: today, if you look at the things you set out to do this month and you've not quite accomplished them, don't throw in the towel. Find find something you can do between now and the end of this month, between now and 12 o'clock midnight, that will move you closer to your goals. And so anything you're doing, that's just in a network marketing context, but all of you listening today, I guarantee that you had some things you wanted to accomplish this month. And chances are there's some that you did not accomplish. Hey, Kenya, beautiful, man. Come on and join us today. My good friend Kenya Crooks is my favorite personal trainer. And he was talking today about, and I want him to kind of share how he's been helping his people achieve their goals. So let's see if we can get Kenya on here. But I'm saying to each and every one of you this morning, if you look at the things you want to accomplish, make the list and say, now, okay, I didn't do this. Okay, don't focus on what you didn't do. But what one or two things can you do today that can confirm that you're on the right path? What one or two things can you do today that can put you on the right track? Quentin says, put exercise on the goal list so you don't get sick. Woo! Hey, Quentin, there's an Arabian proverb, and it says, he who has health has hope. He who has hope has everything. And so, Quentin, thank you for that piece, putting exercise on your goal. I do my walking now, and I'm committed. Okay. Wow, Kenya, I wonder what's happening, man. Keep trying, brother. Keep trying. Maybe send in a request to join. Maybe that'll help us. So this day, look at something you can accomplish between now and 12 o'clock midnight. So that you can, okay, Kenya send a request. Beautiful. Here we go. Here we go, Kenya. So once you look at something you can really accomplish between now and midnight, get it done.
What's going on?
Hey, Kenya, how you doing?
I can't complain, Dr.
I've been watching your videos, and you know, we've been talking about evaluating your results for this first quarter. And I've seen, man, you got people who are transforming their lives. How do you motivate them? What do you do? How do you look at their progress to date?
Well, one of the things that I do is I'm real huge on accountability. So I have everybody check in with me daily. So it's not anything that's automated out to anybody else, because I actually think that one of the things that's going to be a separator is not the automation side of it, but the personalized side, the human side of it. So the more human you can be with people and not just automate, push on over, and this, that, and other, the more personalized you can make it and make the experience, because again, it is a human experience, the better your results will be with other people, which keeps people coming back.
And so that daily check-in, you know, when you know somebody's going to be checking on you, you perform, right?
Yeah, all day long. Because here's what I know. People don't mind letting themselves down, but they do mind letting other people down. They don't want to disappoint other people, but again, they don't care about letting themselves down. So whenever I say, okay, at the end of the day, make sure you check in with me with #done, or if you have any questions, or if you're having issues to where you're about to mess this thing up, I always tell them, I can't help you when you halfway down, when you done jumped off the building now, but I can talk you off the ledge. So make sure you hit me up before you do something silly and regrettable. So that's the other piece of it. And you gotta also keep in mind that a lot of people just need accountability. They need somebody to talk to. They need somebody, they need to feel cared about. And so that's what I bring to the table, especially when you're dealing with 99.999% of your clientele is women. So yeah, they need a little extra touch every once in a while in terms of making sure you can escort them to the finish line.
Ken, you said something really powerful. People don't mind disappointing themselves, but they hate to disappoint others.
Yes.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that's sometimes why people may resist accountability systems. Yeah. I can do it on my own. Thank you, Quentin, for the badge. Thank you, Quentin. I appreciate you. Thank you. And all of you buy badges. We appreciate your support. Now, Quentin, is there one thing, Quentin, I'm sorry, Kenya, is there one thing that seems to be like an obstacle for people, you know, that them from making that breakthrough?
I think one of the things that stops people from getting to their breakthrough, one of the things is the honesty factor. Not being, when you're not honest with yourself, it's kind of like with me. I always like to evaluate the areas where I'm deficient, okay? So sometimes I like to call them weekly meetings. Sometimes you have to have weekly meetings with yourself and be like, okay, you got to, when you learn how to ask a good question, you'll get great answers. That's the beautiful thing about God. God will always give you great answers. So it's kind of like with me, I'll be like, okay, what do I need to do to get to the next level? What do I need to do? And then the answer will come back, okay? Evaluate what you're doing. Do an audit of what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. And for the stuff that you're not doing well with, find somebody. Instead of always trying to be the hero of your life, find some people who can do it better than you.
You just said something powerful. Number one, Valencia just bought a badge. Thank you so much, Valencia. But Kenya, you said something powerful. Find somebody better than you. Find somebody who's been there. Yes.
Yes. Because again, they've already been through what you're going through. So they've already blazed the path. One of the things that I used to train Tamika Foster Raymond, who's Usher's ex-wife. And one of the things Usher said once that always stayed with me was, there's no sense in recreating the wheel. You got all of these corporations who have invested all this money into finding out what's right, what's wrong, what's working, what's not. Copy what they doing. Yeah. Copy what they doing. Find success. And Tony Robbins once said, success leaves clues. And even if you look at Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, one of the things he has is, one of the things that he always talks about is funnel hacking. And the premise behind funnel hacking is find the funnels that works, that produce a whole bunch of money, and then go ahead and put your spin on it. So that's the beautiful thing about having people who have been through, who have gone through what you're about to go through, and people who are blessed in certain areas that you're not. Because again, they can give you that information and can get you to your destination a whole lot faster than you being naive, thinking that you can do it on your own.
Sometimes it's the blind leading the blind. So when you can follow somebody who's shown the way, that makes it better. Well, Kenya, you have so many celebrity accounts and so many celebrity. Who are some of the people that you've trained, man, that you were just talking about? Usher.
Oh, God. Man. Let me see. Let's go. Let's see. We got 7-time Grammy Award winning Toni Braxton. Actually, you have all of the Braxton girls, every single last one of them. So everybody that you saw on Braxton Family Values on WeTV, that was me. Let's see. You have Mama June from our show, Mama June from Not to Hot, which was our show, was the #1 rated new reality show when it came out, which was dope. Let me see. Malaysia Pargo of Basketball Wives, Candy Burris of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Mayetta Shaw of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Jazzy Faye, who is a multi-platinum producer, has produced everybody in the industry, and I'm probably leaving off a whole bunch of other people, but they'll understand. Look, Mayetta Shaw of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Wait a minute. Christina Johnson of VH1's Atlanta Exes. I can go on. Let's see, Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer Levon Kirkland of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know what?
I got everybody.
Special, brother, because people don't keep coming to somebody unless they get results.
Well. Here's the thing that I've realized, and this is with gaining a whole lot of followers, because even here we're about to have 300,000 followers just on Instagram alone. One of the things that I notice is everything is about positioning and how you position yourself. Okay, and a lot of that stuff also goes back to being a person of interest, to where you just produce daily content to where you just adding value. And that's what I like to do every day. Add value, give, add value, because people like to deal with people that they like, know, and trust. So you build rapport by constantly giving.
Well, I tell you, I see Valencia Gamble and Quentin have bought badges. As we go forward.
Hey, Valencia!
Yeah, she one of your fans, brother.
That's my girl. I love Valencia.
Yeah,
come on,
right now.
B.
All right, well, Kenya, as you go forth, now we're closing out this first quarter. What suggestions, what recommendations would you give to people so that they can say, okay, you know, whatever I did, but now going forward, what kind of mindset should they have to go forward and do better?
Well, first thing you got to do is evaluate, constantly evaluate yourself, and just be honest with yourself. It's kind of like, I always tell my folks, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, you can always change it. Anything you don't like, you can change. Any flaw that you can have, any flaw that you have, you can actually turn that into your favor. So turn your flaw into your favor. The things that you don't like can also end up being something that makes you stand out. If you make the decision to do something about it. I did a podcast yesterday, and the podcast was about really, in a sense, there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. Not really. I know a lot of people who have tried. I can't tell you how many people who are constantly in my DMs who constantly say, oh, well, I had this little weight loss surgery, or I had this sleeve, and I done gained all of it back. You tried to shortcut yourself. You tried the little shortcut. You thought it was going to last, but shortcuts don't last.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is, whatever you want, earn it. Earn it. And that even includes yourself. Earn yourself. Don't look for people to escort you to where you want to be. Be willing to do the work to become who you need to be. Because once you learn how to do certain things, you're good. You're good forever. You're good forever. But you got to be willing to put in the work. You've got to get rid of that motivation thing people got going on. I'm so motivated. Okay, motivation ain't nothing but a feeling. But it's a feeling that can be here today and gone tomorrow. So really focus on the commitment piece of it. And the commitment piece of it basically says, no matter how I feel, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to show up. And it goes back to your rituals. Rituals will get you there faster than emotions.
You know something, Ken? You just knocked it out of the park. Rituals, habit will do more for you than the emotion. You know, I'm doing a series of workshops next month. And one of the things I'm telling about, the simple habit of every night before you go to bed, you write your plan out for what you want to do tomorrow. You get it such a habit that you can't go to sleep until it's done. You change your whole life. So that's a powerful piece. That whatever you can do, reduce to ritual, means you don't think about it anymore. You just do it automatically. And that's power.
And it takes all of the feeling out of it. Because again, if you're driven, Yeah, because if you're driven by feelings and you're driven by emotions, then you'll always be a slave to your feelings and to your emotions. So that's one of the things that I always tell the people who train with me: get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. Do the work. We've already laid it out for you. We've taken the thinking out of it. We've taken the emotions out of it. So all you have to do is just do. All you got to do is just show up. That's really all you have to do. And I'll leave you with this story because I know you probably got a lot of stuff you got to do. But one of the things I always tell people about showing up is I had a weight loss contest, and it was a $1,000 contest, and I knew who the winner was. I knew we were down to the top 5. I knew who lost the most. I didn't tell none of them. But the one who should have won didn't win because they never showed up for the weigh-in because she thought that other people weighed less than she did. So she overthought herself out of $1,000. And for those who are watching, how many times have you thought yourself out of your blessings? How many times have you thought yourself up out of your destiny because you were over there overthinking versus overdoing, versus overproducing, versus overperforming?
Now that sounds, don't overthink, overdo. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Kenya, that is profound, man. Those are some words of wisdom that can take you from where you are to where you want to be. And I really admire your work. I see the videos, and I see that you transform people. I look at people who, I know many of them have thrown in the towel before, but it's something you give them that makes them like, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. So I take my hat off to you, brother. Any final words before we wrap up?
No words. Just keep going. But for those get there, and most importantly, understand that even bad times and hard times are set up for your good times and your good days. You need bad times. You need bad days, because without bad times and bad days, you don't appreciate the good days.
Woo!
You don't appreciate the good times. So guess what? Everything is working for your good. Everything is working. Again, the Bible even talks about everything is working for your good. Everything is part of your process. Please trust the process. Trust the process. Keep going. Do the work. Take your emotions up out of it and get your reward. Get your blessing.
Wow, Kenya, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And you have such a loyal group of people, man, because you have done so many great things to help people be whatever they want to be, do whatever they want to do, and have anything they want to have, always knowing the best is yet to come. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Doc.
All right. Now, take care. Woo, my goodness. Folks, let me tell you something. I feel like this is a drop the mic situation. I want to thank Kenya Crooks so much. I'm so grateful to him and so admiring of his work. You can go to his Instagram page, The Kenya Crooks, and check in with some of the things he's doing. Those of you who are on here today, thank you for joining us. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. We're a great admirer of those people, those of us who are striving to be better, to do better, to have more. Kenya said something very, very powerful. Don't overthink it, overdo it. So folks, Dr. Herbert Harris here. I'd love for you all to check out our website. We have a toolbox as you begin to develop and enhance your personal growth and your personal training. Let's work on the mind and your vibration. And so go to our website, herbertharris.com, herbertharris.com, and check out the Success Toolbox. Because in the Success Toolbox, you have everything you need to get anything you want. You have the 12 Universal Laws of Success, the ebook, plus you have the workbook to help you use and get through this book successfully. You have the 12 Universal Laws of Success audio book, over 6 hours of recorded information. You have the New You Home Study course, and that's exactly what Kenya was saying. Assess where you are right now. Make those changes to help you get from where you are to where you want to go. And then we have a host of other audios and posters to help you reprogram your mind for success, knowing that you have everything to get anything you want. So this is Dr. Herbert Harris saying, have a great, magnificent month coming up. Close out this month strong and pump up the volume so that next month can be the foundation for your dreams and the basis for all that you desire to experience. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Like our broadcast and share it with at least 3 other people.